you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNINews video. And today's video is going to be a regular pre-recorded video. There's just been so much news that's come out in the last 2 days that I didn't feel like I could do this as a live stream. I do plan on doing another live stream here in the near future, possibly tomorrow afternoon or Sunday. And maybe we'll just kind of talk about recapping things, all the stuff that's come out, all the information that's come out in the past week. And there's been a lot, especially just these last 2 days. So let's jump into it. And some of this I am going to try and go through fairly quickly because there is so much stuff to talk about. First thing I wanted to share with you is a new Back to the Future reaction figure that's being put out by Super 7. This was revealed during Back to the Future Day. Now this is being sold as an Amazon exclusive. It is Griff from Back to the Future 2 with his hoverboard, his Pitbull hoverboard. Now, you may recall when I was talking about Back to the Future figures in the last news video, I was hoping NECA was going to do this version in a 7-inch scale figure with the hoverboard and everything, which does not look like is happening, at least not right now. But Super 7 is doing it, and with this, you know, you get the fancy packaging, which I think is probably the coolest thing about the figure, which also looks like the hoverboard, so that's definitely cool. Now, this is being sold as an Amazon exclusive. It is available for pre-order now. The release date for this is set for November 30th, and the price on it is $19.99. So it is a little bit on the hefty side, but if you're really into Back to the Future, or if you like really fancy packaging, yeah, this might be one that you want to check out. Now, while we're on the subject of Back to the Future, NECA seems to be teasing a new Back to the Future figure. They haven't come out and specifically given us any details. When they initially put this first image up on Back to the Future Day, I thought it was actually their first. You can see it's Marty, the images of Marty from behind playing the guitar. I thought this was actually just the first Marty figure that they had released, only they had taken the jacket off. But then they released a second image showing him holding a photo of his family, as we see in the movie, where his family starts to disappear. That's how he tells whether he's fixed the timeline or not. And so that's an accessory that was not included with the first release figure. I'm also told, I don't have that figure, but I'm told that the jacket on that first figure is not made to be removed. So I think this is actually a new figure. They're doing a variant almost, I would say, of the Marty figure without the jacket, probably some new accessories. I think that might be a different guitar than the one that was included with the first figure as well. So, and even possibly a new head sculpt. With both of these images, they haven't shown us the front of the figure, so that might be an indication that they're working up to showing us off a brand new head sculpt for the Marty. Marty McFly, Michael J. Fox, obviously, but we'll have to wait and see. And again, all we have right now are just these two images. I was really hoping, again, for like a Rift figure, but maybe that will come down the road. We'll have to wait and see. Now, sticking with NECA, there was also an announcement this week that NECA has grabbed the license for Hammer House of Horror. Now, if you're not familiar with that, you know, they've done a lot of old classic horror movies, including The Curse of Frankenstein and Horror of Dracula, which is actually, you know, where actor Christopher Lee, who has also been featured in the Star Wars movies and Lord of the Ring movies, that's kind of where he really got his notoriety from, is playing Dracula. So no specific details on what kind of figures we will see from NECA, but they have grabbed this license. Sideshow Toy is also going to be doing figures based on this license. Mego is another company that has said will be doing figures for this license. But I know a lot of you like NECA for their horror figures, so it looks like we're going to be getting some classic horror characters from NECA sometime down the road. And this was based on a press release put out by the company that handles the Hammer House of Horror. NECA themselves have not really said anything specific about this, so those details I'm sure will be coming soon. Okay, now switching gears a little bit, I wanted to share some information with you guys on the Playmates Toys front. This is Voltron related, so looks like they are doing a Voltron's Legendary Classic Combiner set, which is being offered at Walmart. I'm not sure if this is a Walmart exclusive, but they are the one that has it up for pre-order. Now, I believe these are just reissues of figures they released separately, but now you can buy them as an entire set. And of course, you get the individual lions, and they do combine into Voltron, which is about 16 inches tall. It's got phrases, electronic phrases and sound effects, over 60 phrases apparently. So I think really what's cool about this is the price. It is selling for $59.97, which I think if you bought them individually, the figures they did individually, I think came out to be more. And definitely on the secondary market, I think they're going for a pretty good penny. So if you missed out or what have you, or you're just a huge Voltron fan, this might be something you want to check out. I won't swear these have been released by Playmates, but I'm pretty sure I want to say that they released these figures separately, and now we're just getting the combined set. And again, I don't know exactly if this is a Walmart exclusive, but right now, as I'm filming this, they're the only place that do have it available for pre-order. And again, the price is $59.97, and they say it'll be released on December 5th. Some quick news on the Masters of the Universe front. So an overseas retailer has released some new images for some of the upcoming Masters of the Universe Origins Deluxe figures. So we're getting a look at the packaging for the Battle Armor Skeletor figure. All of these were announced at PowerCon this summer, but now we're getting some updated images. So we get the package image of the Skeletor figure as well as a loose image. And then we're also getting a new image of the Clamp Champ and finally Ram Man. So no package images for those two, but again with the Skeletor, we're getting a first look at the packaging here. So nothing major, but I just wanted to go on and pass that information on to you guys. And I believe these will be out next year, at which point they'll be available everywhere, not just Walmart. For you Revoltech fans, we've got some official images that were released this week for the Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Joker figure. So I've talked about this figure before, but we've got the official images, and it is available for pre-order at places like our sponsor Big Bad Toy Store. Now with the figure, you're going to get 3 pairs of hands. You're going to get haha word balloons that you can put behind the figure. You're going to get 2 head sculpts with the figure. You get a classic Joker cane. You get some false teeth. You get some blast effects. And the tails on the coat look to be articulated, so it won't limit the movement on the figure. And, you know, if you're really into the Revoltech stuff, or you've been collecting the DC Revoltech stuff, this might be one that you want to check out. For you GIJoe fans, so it looks like we might be getting a new Sergeant Slaughter figure. That's not confirmed in any way, but this week, Sergeant Slaughter himself let it be known that he was meeting with Hasbro. It actually took place in this video that comes from 80s Wrestling Con. So 80s Wrestling Con, if you're not familiar, and I wasn't either until I looked it up, but apparently they bring on wrestlers and they film them live as they sign autographs, and essentially you can pre-arrange ahead of time, you know, to purchase a picture with the autograph, and you can ask them to give you a shout out and everything in the video and such. So that's what the crux of the 80s Wrestling Con is. That's not really the story here. Where the story is during this video, one of the wrestlers that they had on here this past week was Sergeant Slaughter. Obviously, you know, legendary WWE, WWF wrestler. Also, you know, GIJoe, you know, many GIJoe fans know Slaughter. But the news here is during that video, basically he said that he was meeting with a new friend. The way I'll say it how he said it. He's meeting with a new friend of his whose name is Ben, who has a close connection with Hasbro. And this meeting is taking place in Rhode Island. So Rhode Island, you know, of course, is where Hasbro is headquartered. Ben is most likely Ben Montitano. I probably mispronounced his last name, but he, if you watch like the PulseCon GIJoe live stream panel a couple weeks ago, he was the moderator of that panel. So he works with the GIJoe brand team and everything. His official title is Global Brand Executive for Product Marketing and Entertainment. And while we have no idea exactly what Slaughter was meeting with Hasbro with about this week, yeah, the most likely logical conclusion would be that they're talking about a new action figure. Now, of course, it could be something for the retro line, or, you know, though in my opinion, if they are talking new action figure, it's more likely going to be for the classified line. But again, that we have no idea what they're meeting about, and even if they are meeting about action figures, doing a new Sergeant Slaughter action figure, you know, just because they're meeting doesn't mean it's a done deal. You know, negotiations could happen, and then they could break down over, you know, money or what have you, and we might never see a figure. So don't take this to mean that there's definitely going to be a Sergeant Slaughter figure coming from Hasbro, a new one, but it looks like there's at least a possibility of that. Now, of course, I want to point out that as far as 6-inch action figures go, there's definitely a new 6-inch Sergeant Slaughter figure coming from Valverse for the Action Force line. That's not an official G.I. Joe product, so it's not an official G.I. Joe figure. But, you know, looks, the one that they've shown off the images for and everything looks really good and all. So, and that one's been available for pre-order. Last time I checked, it was available for, I don't think it's sold out. It might be. I haven't checked in a while. But it was at least at one time available for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store. So, you know, there's definitely a 6-inch Sergeant Slaughter figure coming, but whether there's going to be a one from Hasbro, again, there are some indications that would suggest that, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, and then switching to Lego. Now, it's not something I often talk about, but this set I thought was really cool, and it's our first official look at the Lego Ideas Sesame Street set. So it was announced a while back that this, you know, the Lego Ideas, that this one had won and that we were going to be getting it. But this is our first official look. It's set number 21324. It is based on the actual Sesame Street. So really cool. It's got 1,367 pieces. For the measurements, it's said to be 9 inches high, 13.5 inches wide, and 8.2 inches deep. You get pretty cool minifigures with it. You're getting Elmo, Oscar, Bert, and Ernie, and Cookie Monster, along with Big Bird. Now, I believe originally it was said that it was going to include, or, you know, maybe in the original ideas, it was going to have the Count and Grover, but those are not being included. There's a picture of the Count in one of the rooms. But, you know, I'm a little disappointed we're not getting Grover, but, you know, maybe they'll do like a Super Grover with a phone booth or something set down the road. That would be a pretty cool thing to do. Now, my wife has already told me when I showed it to her, she's a huge Sesame Street fan. So when I told her about it, she said, we're definitely getting it. She doesn't even, you know, she doesn't collect Legos or anything, but she loves Sesame Street. So she said, we're definitely getting this one. Now, it's going to be available at Lego stores and Lego.com, and it's said to be put out on November 1st. A real quick update on the Snake Eyes figure coming from 3.0. This is a 1/6 scale or 12-inch figure, and I've talked about this a couple different times. We originally saw this figure on display at one of the overseas conventions at the beginning of the month. Then just the other day, they released an official image. Now they've released a couple more images, and they say the figure will be going up for pre-order on the 3.0 website. They are an overseas retailer, but the official pre-order date is going to be in a few days here on October 25th. I do imagine that places like Big Bad Toy Store will end up carrying it, but I don't know if they'll have it up for pre-order actually on the 25th. We'll have to wait and see. This is part of the Fig Zero line. I still don't have any pricing information, but I'm guessing it's probably going to cost in the neighborhood of $150 to $200. But like I said, that's purely just a guess on my part. Now, from these new images, you can see that it's going to come with 2 swords. You also get a mini Uzi. It's not his full-size Uzi like he generally comes with, but it looks like it's a mini one. He also, you can see some knives on his belt. I don't know if those are removable. Now, there's no mention of it being movie-based, so I think this is just like an artist rendition of Snake Eyes, not based on anything specific. I doubt they would be allowed to put up for pre-order something that was movie related, since we haven't even seen an official look at the Snake Eyes costume for the new movie. But that's mostly an assumption on my part. Now, again, the figure is said to be going up for pre-order on the 3.0 website in a couple days. And at that point, we'll get more detailed information like pricing and probably some more images as well. Okay, and then for you Lord of the Ring fans, the next wave of select 7-inch scale figures from Diamond Select Toys has gone up for pre-order. I know some of you have been asking about those. We originally saw these figures on display at Toy Fair back in February. The first wave went up for pre-order a few months ago, and then there was a delay with the second wave. But it is now available for pre-order at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. And with the second wave, we are going to get Frodo along with the Ring Wraith. Now, Frodo is said to be about 4 inches tall. And then, of course, when you get all 3 waves, each wave has 2 figures, and there's a total of 3 waves. And when you get all 3 waves, then you'll be able to complete the 13-inch tall Sauron Build-A-Figure, which we've seen images of before in the past. But this wave, the figures from this wave right now are listed with an April of next year release date. And I suspect, or I assume at least, that the next and final wave will go up for pre-order next month. Jumping back into NECA Toys, today we got some official images and the figures have gone up for pre-order for the deluxe figures that are being released in the Turtles in Time line. So I talked about this recently. Randy mentioned them in his interview he did with the fellas at Fwoosh. And with this, there's the Rocksteady and Bebop 2-pack where they're dressed as the pirates. We saw these on display at that New Jersey Toy Con a week or so ago. So now we've got the official images. That set is going to cost $55. And then there's the Baxter Stockman figure, which is being sold as a deluxe figure, which is going to cost you $30. And it is a little bit different from the cartoon version. You get some different accessories. You get his gun. You get a blast effect with it and everything. And, like I said, these are both kind of being sold as deluxe figures. They're not part of a specific wave. And they are available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. So unlike the Target ones, this one, if you want to get them, should be readily available. Now, while we're on the subject of Turtles, as I'm recording this, we still do not have the 2-pack, the latest 2-pack with the Triceraton and the Roadkill Rodney 2-pack has yet to be made available on the Target website. It has been listed on the website. I believe I mentioned that in the last news video that it was actually now listed on the website, but has not been yet made available. The date, we keep getting various dates from NECA, but of course they also always say that they don't really have any control for when Target puts these up. The last date I heard was supposed to be today, but I'm filming this at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time and it's not yet been made available. Maybe here soon. I've got it set on my app, so I should get a notification when it becomes available. I am hoping I'm able to grab one, but we'll have to see how long they actually last, when they actually do, and whether I happen to be near the computer or what have you when it does. But again, we continue to wait, and definitely it's kind of frustrating. But hopefully, when it does actually become available, hopefully it will last longer than the previous ones have. Now, for you DC fans, we got a surprise announcement today on the Mafex front. So it looks like their next Batman-related figure is going to be based on the Knightfall Batman, which, of course, wasn't actually Bruce Wayne, but was Azrael, the Azrael character. So with this figure, you're going to get a soft goods cape, which will have wire in it for posing. You're going to get both the helmeted head or masked head along with the unmasked head. Again, keep in mind, it's not Bruce Wayne, it's Azrael, which is why he's got the blonde hair. You get a separate helmet, so when you have the unmasked head on, it looks like he can carry his helmet. He's got a grapple that shoots out of his gauntlet, and then, of course, you get multiple pairs of hands. Now, this figure is slated for release in September. This is one I definitely plan on picking up just because, I think I talked about in the last news video, I was hoping that McFarlane Toys was going to do this version sooner or later, but Mafex has beat him to the punch, so, I'm definitely planning on getting this one. Now, while we're on the subject of Mafex figures, we also got a reveal for a new Marvel figure. This one is going to be based on the comics, the Ben Reilly Spider-Man. His actual Spider-Man costume that he wore with the wrist gauntlets on the outside and everything and the black striping and such. So with this figure, you are also going to get an unmasked head sculpt, which some of you have noted the two unmasked head sculpts between this Spider-Man figure and the Knightfall Batman look very similar. They are different, but they do both have blonde hair. You're also going to get webbing effects, multiple pairs of hands. You get a pulled off mask, so it looks like he can carry it in his hand when he's got the unmasked head on. And this figure, like the Knightfall Batman, is slated for release in September. Now, you can pre-order these figures at places like either our sponsor Hobby Link Japan or Big Bad Toy Store. Now, while we're on the subject of Marvel, Tomasi Nations has announced that they are doing a new SH Figuarts Nick Fury figure. So this is going to be released in March of next year, and slim pickings on the accessories. It looks like you get some multiple hands and a gun, but that's about it. It looks like you only get one head sculpt with it, though it does have that Samuel L. Jackson look. Here it looks like you can just imagine him saying "Say what" again with the pistol and everything. Quote from a Pulp Fiction, but. As it is, he's got the trench coat, which looks very shiny on the figure. And, if you've been wanting a Nick Fury SH Figuarts, you're going to have the opportunity. I don't think this is up for pre-order last time I checked at places like Big Bad Toy Store, but I do believe they will be carrying it sooner or later. That Marvel Select Human Torch figure from Diamond Select Toys that I talked about previously, it is now available for pre-order. It is slated for release next year in March and April, and of course it's the translucent figure with the fire stand, and you get the alternate throwing fire hand and such. So if you like translucent figures, I think this is one that you're going to want to check out. And again, it is now available for pre-order at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Here's a look at a new Funko Pop figure based on Cyborg Spider-Man. This is going to be released at Walgreens. And then while we're on the subject of Cyborg Spider-Man, it seems like he's become very popular because it also looks like we may be getting a Marvel Legend version of the character. Now, if you're not familiar with this version of Spider-Man, this version actually first appeared back in the 90s in the Spider-Man book. And, basically Eric Larson, who was writing and drawing the comic, is the one that kind of came up with this look, I think. So it definitely, if you're familiar with Eric Larson's artwork, that's what the feel this figure has. And Toy Biz actually did a 5-inch version of this figure back in the day. So with this, you can see with this image that popped up, this is an image that actually popped up online last night on social media. The original origin of the image is unknown. So I don't know where whoever took this image, where it came from, where they got the figure from. None of those details have been available. But you can see it's based on the Cyborg Spider-Man. And being Funko's doing one, I guess it makes sense that Hasbro would too for some reason. I don't know why he's become so popular all of a sudden. But there you go. And, you can see it's on the retro card back, which again, Toy Biz did do a 5-inch version on these card backs back in the day. Now, the Instagrammer Rectangular is claiming that this figure is 100% legit. There had been some question whether this was a custom or not. I've not been able to confirm that myself. I will tell you that if it is legit, it's definitely going to be a store exclusive. It's not going to be a general release or even a fan channel exclusive. Now, Rectangular seems to think it's going to be a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, which I guess is a possibility. Now, the thing here is, though, that if it is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive or whatever store is going to be carrying it, if it is real, the question is really when will it be made available? Originally, Rectangular was saying it was going to be made available today. He later kind of edited that and said soon, and it definitely doesn't look like it's going to be released today. So I don't know, maybe Monday at the earliest, I would say, but we'll just have to wait and see. So I'm not willing to, definitely treating this as a rumor. I'm not willing to say it's real at this point. I don't feel quite as confident as Rectangular does. But, he obviously seems to know something I don't. All I will tell you again is that I definitely have been able to confirm that it's not a regular release or even like a fan channel exclusive release. So either some store specific release or as he states, a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, and then the final bit of news I have for you guys is on the Star Wars front. So I previously talked about the 7-inch scale Boba Fett figure coming from Diamond Select Toys. It's part of a new Disney Store exclusive line, Star Wars Select. If you collect Marvel figures, you're probably familiar with the Marvel Select. I already talked about like the Human Torch today. But now they're branching out into Star Wars. So we had seen the Boba Fett one. I talked about it. There's also a Darth Maul figure that is coming as well. That is, since I last talked to you guys, has been revealed. And both of those figures are now available for purchase on the Shop Disney website. Again, these are Disney Store exclusives. They will be sold at both physical Disney stores and the website. But if you don't have a store near you or what have you, you can go online right now. Now online, they're costing $24.99, and of course, you also have to pay for shipping with that. And with the Darth Maul figure, you're getting his lightsaber, a double-bladed lightsaber. You get the blades are removable. You get 2 sets of blades. You get regular blades, and then you get swishing type blades. And then he also comes with multiple pairs of hands and some blast effects that you can attach to the lightsaber blades as well. Now, he does not come with a cloak. I know some people were disappointed that they didn't include a cloak with the figure. But as it is, if you're a fan of Darth Maul, then this might be one that you want to check out. Now, again, these are 7-inch scale figures. They're taller than the Star Wars Black Series figures. And, for the most part, with Marvel, I know a lot of 6-inch Marvel Legend collectors will collect the 7-inch scale select characters that are bigger, like the Hulk and Juggernaut and such, which actually scale pretty well with the 6-inch figures. With Star Wars, I think that's tougher to do. There's not a lot of characters I can think of off the top of my head that would really be taller. But, like I said, the detailing on these seem pretty nice. So, if you're just a fan of these characters. Now, I've heard rumors of other figures that are coming that include the likes of Darth Vader. Stormtrooper, The Mandalorian. I haven't confirmed those in any way, but those might be coming in the near future as well, so we'll just have to wait and see. But like I said, if you're into 7-inch scale figures or what have you, then you might want to check these out, and they are available for purchase on the Disney Store website now. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about in the comments section below. Again, I am hoping to be able to do a live stream here in the near future where we'll talk about a lot of the stuff that's come out this week, possibly tomorrow afternoon or Sunday afternoon. I'll play it by ear, but I'll make an announcement on social media when I actually commit to a date and time, and hopefully you guys will tune in. But thanks for watching today. As always, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, like the video, and stay safe out there. And until next time, I'll catch you later.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so alerted every time I upload a new video. And be sure to head over to the Toy News International and Marvelous News message boards communities. It's a great place to talk toys and win cool contests like $100 store credits to Big Bad Toy Store. And remember, action figures are great.